but nature stripped. He's a force of nature today. Can he do it? Chautauqua, he's flying. Yeah!
But Kevin Tari hit the front deliberately.
But this is a blitz. It's a weak blitz.
Have a go, you mug. Okay, 15th time lucky. Here we go. Mugs, great to see you again. I'm sure you would have loved to have seen us on another episode of Making Queensland Racing Great Again. Fortunately, we're battling some legal embargoes from Mrs. Nicki Minaj about the use of the words wet ass pussy.
I'm talking wop, 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 that's some wet ass.
Associated with beans get in the sea. But we'll get over them and we'll be back shortly. What we thought we'd do though, we've got a great card up at the sunny coast, 9 races, good conditions, of course, headlined by the Mooloolaba Cup and the Swiss Ace Plate. We thought we'd break down the races, give you our 2 cents, give us a break. We had to think at least 3 times each for the day. That's enough from me. Here's Lloydie.
Yes, Mugs. Well, it's obviously a little bit different this week, so we'll get stuck into the first 3 races at the sunny coast, starting off with a 2-year-old 1,000-metre handicap. And there's looks to be a pretty smart one come up. Horse 8, Honeypot, the $2.10 favourite, trained by Tony Golan, to be ridden by Steph Thornton in the Outback Barbie colours, the green and white. Invanovic, if that's how you want to call it, for Nat McCall and James Orman, the second favourite at $4.60, and Sneaky Starter for Mick Mads, the $8 third favourite. It's had 1 start for 1 win already to its name. So, look, it's a tough way to start. Obviously, the 2-year-olds, we don't know a huge deal about them, but I'm happy to be with the favourite Honeypot in the opener. It's had the 1 trial there at Deegan, and it was pretty impressive, really. It's been well publicised, I guess, how well it went, but you know, you only had to really see it to believe it, I guess. Ran home in 33.66 for a 650-metre trial, so did it pretty easily. Well bred by Spirit of Boom out of a General Nadeem mare, so I'm happy to be with the favourite in the first. Head to the second race, and it's a pretty competitive no metro wins handicap over the 1,000, and field of 13 to be I suppose to contest the race and get a handful of Rocky horses. We all know Rocky form is the best form. You know, you've got Elisa's Dream there, Laprise, Avocado Sunset, Norm's Choice. She's a Tom Button trained runner, so we'll claim it. True Blue Tango, former Nat McCall, running now with Ricky Vale. But I'm sticking with what works, and that's winning form and Rocky form at that. So Avocado Sunset, big fan of the horse I am. Jared Wheelow trains, and good friend of the show, Gov Jr. Jaden Lloyd. He's doing the riding from Barrier 2. He's on a deep field. He had a really good campaign last prep. He strung a few wins together and then looked a little bit, I suppose he didn't look like he came back all that well in July with his first up run. Ran 4th behind Courtesy Bus, then ran 3rd at Rocky over the 1100 to Lady Lowburn. Since then, 3 wins at Mackay, and won pretty convincingly, 1.5 lengths, 0.3 of a length, and 0.8. Led all the way in all 3, I think, Barrier 2 with 53.5 kilos on his back. Be able to roll along. I think currently he's the $4.80 favourite in what's an open race. Iolite, $5 second elect comes off a win. Obviously, he bounced back after disappointing at Eagle Farm on 9th of October. Came out and won at the Gold Coast on Melbourne Cup Day, beat Winside and Zeri. Zeri goes around here as well. It's the market mover with our good friends there. 750 into 550, and Elisa's Dream, another Rocky horse who she goes really well actually. So it'll be a big watch. There'll be plenty of speed in it. Laprise will go forward. Elisa's Dream will go forward. Obviously, Avocado Sunset. So hopefully he can withstand from the pressure and keep kicking at the business end. We head to the third race then, which is another tricky one. So pretty tough way to start. It's a Class 3 over the 1,800 metres. Neutron opens the $2.35 favourite for Casey Fogden and Ryan Maloney from Barrier 1. Karlstad, it's the second elect there. It's coming off a win on Melbourne Cup Day at Eagle Farm, won by 1 3/4 that day. Drawn Barrier 11 for Jimmy Orman and Chris Wallop. Dulat Ty Penaziz. I was on last start, ran second, it was 26s into 7, so it was a little bit disappointing it didn't get the job done, but it's $10 on the third line, and then you're out to Heaven and More, Quiet Michael, and Bengal Bandit. I'll have to stick with Dulat Tai Penners is here at the $10. The money last start just suggested that, you know, it was, I suppose, getting close to a win. There's a bit of stable confidence for it that day, and ran well over the 1840 in a benchmark 75. It does rise 4.5 kilos from that, but goes to a 75 back to a class 3. And Sean Cormack retains the ride, so hopefully barrier 6, he might get a little bit more running room as well. And to the sunny coast, he is a winner there before this 5-year-old. There looks a little bit of speed again. Neutron, obviously, from the marble, it'll go forward. So hopefully the favourite doesn't stack them up. But look, this horse, he's just been knocking on the door. He's always been sort of thereabouts. He's had 16 starts for 3 wins. Hasn't won for a little while now. You have to go back, what's that, about 7 or 8 starts ago. So I suppose his consistency is a little bit of a concern when it comes to winning. But, you know, he was a runner-up to Sienna's Choice 3 starts ago at Doomben. Lasting Kiss, more than number 1. He finished 6th in that race that day at Doomben as well, back in July. And then behind Continuation last start, the big Sunny Coast Straight will help. So that's me. So starting off the card, we got Honeypot in the first, Avocado Sunset in the second, and Dulat Tai Penners is. So hand you over to Bean for a look at races 4, 5 and 6. Cheers.
Nugs, thanks Nick for leading us in there, mate. A bit different this week, as he said. We're all calling in and doing our little bits and pieces. But off to race 4, we move into a 3-year-old handicap over the mile, and a couple of smart ones here. Favourite Kibosh for the Wallace stable was pretty good on Melbourne Cup Day. Came out and belted them by 6.5 at Eagle Farm. Just led down the straight, kicked away one pretty smartly. Would have been nice to see Strongbow run on Wednesday, but anyway, didn't end up running as scratched. Then we had Ragin come out and look like a pretty clever horse over the 1400 there against Arid Planet, and it's all talk the line up here. I actually thought the latter two looked like they would handle the step out to the mile a bit better, but breeding suggests Ragin should as well. Probably just needed the run at the trip. And then obviously we moved to Big Muskie for the big flying TJ Gollan stable. Blinker's first time. Lost a ding-dong battle with Sutto's Girl last start there, but Blinkers on should tune it up. And perhaps if it doesn't get the job at the mile here, sort of those 1350 races at Doomben could be the go. On top for me though, look, Kibosh, it was just too impressive to ignore there. Coming up from a bit of that Sydney form, never sort of ran too poorly with 3rd, 4th and a 6th, and came out and trounced them. Yes, the field was no good, but you know, I'm taking on trust. The Wallace stable's flying, barrier 12. Doesn't draw as well as Rage and a few of the other leading chances, but I think should be able to cross and be 1 out, 1 back, and just be too smart for them down the straight. Then we move quickly to the benchmark 75 over the 1400, and this is just it's a pretty tough race. This one really, Darleb for the Malian and Lees is the red hot favourite. Then you've got Maestro, Nicky Spirit, Smooth Move, couple of track specialists in foreign territory, and Bonaparte should be leading them off with sort of Tax Accountant and June 45, both sitting, I think, pretty handy in the run. Look, I mean, you can go through the field of this form, and most of these horses, they're in here at the sunny coast because this is their go. They obviously love the straight. Nat McCall yard flies and got Benny Thompson back after back from his little suspension. He got a couple home on Wednesday, so looks to start stringing a few together, and is but I'm on his cheeky partner here in Soft Hand Steph. I think she's got Nicky's Spirit flying with the TJ Gollan stable. Just obviously knows how to ride her, and you know what they say about a mare in form, Mugs, you best just to keep it on. So I think I've backed Nicky's Spirit the last 3 wins, and I'm certainly not jumping off anytime soon here. Happy to be with again. I think she sits 2 or 3 pairs back, 1 out, and just climbs all over the top of them. Maybe way too strong. So 750, yes please. And then finally, probably, if not the race of the day, close to it, the 3-year-old handicap of the 1,000 metres. You've got Miss Hipster with the form around our girl Mystic Aroma. Stella Magic leads them off. It's $5 the field. Glorious Ruby, ever consistent back again. Mushy Ellie, Enabler for Tregea, Referro and Intersec for the TJ stable. Look, Mugs, this is, I think you can string this one about 5 or 6 different ways. Intersec, Oriental Princess and Enabler look to lead them off. And all of those are last start winners. It's a field full of last start winners, in fact. So, yeah, it should be a pretty good form race. This, I think, leading forward. Mushy Alley will be running on from the back like it was last start, and any improvement there probably sees him go pretty close again. And from barrier 2 can be, I think, a few pairs closer, which will help. But I've settled on the Mystic Aroma form, and that's Miss Hipster here for Kilner and Shweta. I just think from barrier 3, box seats, sat on a pretty strong tempo last start and then kicked away and won fairly cleverly. And I think, you know, first up 2 for 2 can pretty much do the same again, same sort of run, be just in behind them. And $6 is a bit of a spoil, I think, in a race like this while it's open. I think she's just a class above. So Miss Hipster for me. Come on, Leah, give it strength.
Oh, thanks for the handover there, Bean. What great professional journalism that you've done there. Mugs, they've left me with the last 3, and I tell you what, I thought my eyes were lighting up when I heard I was doing the last 3, but these are some pretty tough races. Race 7, we've got the Mooloolaba Swiss Ace, or as we like to call it, the Tony Gollan Swiss Ace, because he's got Zeus Style, he's got Garibaldi, he's got the Move, and of course Needorp, which you're getting $34 for Needorp. Once upon a time was, well, I'd take it if it was a different race, put it that way. But the speed's going to be on. We've got some really good top line Queensland horses here, because Queensland form is the form. I'm leaning Zeus Styles' way. We're getting $2.60 from our good friends at Sportsbet, and they are friends of this. If you ask them, they'll say the same. But every horse here has probably bigger ambitions Magic Millions wise. And I think with Zeus Styles, the kind of horse where he's had a few issues in the past with injuries and bleeds, and they really have to just pick his spots probably over that 1,000 metre distance. So he came back last prep, had a kill down the Gold Coast, and TJ put him away just to sort of look after him. I think that move's going to pay dividends, because he seems like he's just going to be a horse that's going to fly fresh, pop up, get the win, back in the paddock, onwards to the next assignment. A few of these other horses shooting for gold. Look, Magic Millions horse 100%, but this just is this race. What an absolute cracker. So speed's going to be on. A horse like Shooting for Gold, and even Totally Charmed. A bit of a shout out to the Coates family there. They're heavily invested in the Totally Charmed. But the 2 days could really be swooping late, and they could be the 2 to look for, sort of going onwards and upwards in throughout the summer carnival. But Zeus Style at the shorts. Sorry, Mugs, you know what we're about. We move on. The Mooloolaba Plate Cup. Oh, might start that one again. Go back to Bean. But we've got the mile. Oi, last time I do this at Centrelink, kids everywhere. We're at the mile. We're over the Mooloolaba Cup distance, and Ligulate is your favourite there at $2.90. Look, it did nothing wrong last start. It just seems to grow a leg when it's up here in Queensland. There is, again, we got the locals, but the Chris Waller show's in town. The Sears Yard have got a few here, and of course the man TJ Gollan does it as well. I think it's tough to tell, but a few of these horses probably want that little bit further. I'm talking your Humboldt Currents, who's first up here. Let's not talk about that too much. Even So You Win is looking to find a bit of form of yesteryears, and gets in with the 60 kilos. I'm not too keen to go back down that well, but one well I am keen to go back down is Torakiki Lad, which is pretty unique in the Mooloolaba Cup. Don't worry, I'll stop now. But just a big open track is what this horse needs. It's sort of started to put it together. Its last couple there at Eagle Farm. It's had 5 goes this prep, no luck. Obviously, a couple of seconds there the last 2 runs it's gone around, but Sunny Coast, they come sort of from anywhere, and this horse can really come wide, and I think it was at this track where he stuck the tongue out and got the job that one day. So Torikiki lad, if you're prepared to ride with the mugs one last time, let's do this together. And hey, we're getting $8, which will only put half the water back in the well for us. Okay, mugs, we come to the Get Out Stakes, race 9, on the good conditions. By this stage of the game, we'll know what they're doing track-wise, whether they are winning from anywhere. Obviously, that statement is useless right about now as I'm about to try and tip a winner. But it's going to be a real speed battle. I think so Warwick knows no other way, been an absolute ATM for the month. We love the thing. But Dusty Tycoon is the other real pest in the race that it just doesn't have any versatility. I'm going to be honest there. But it's got barrier 1. So you know where those two are going to be. You've got then a few of the other mug favourites. You've got East Asia, Acrobatic, who are going to get back. The Pines, we'll leave it at that there. Roman Aureus, just watch this space. But speed's going to be on, which is going to set up nicely for those that can come home with that little bit of a burst. And one that I'm going back to the well with, jump in again if you want to ride with me. Roman Aureus, at the 15s, I think it's a horse that really needs that pace on. Last prep, I just don't really think it was itself. It's had a trial before this start to sort of get that tune-up back happening. Behind Needot, mind you, as well, who's a bit of a speed machine, so you can't really take much from there. But he's a horse from barrier 2 that will sit right off that pace. And if you can find that little bit of, his older form to really kick it home, he could figure in the finish there as well. I'm just worried about Sir Warwick, maybe this being the biggest test that he's had to do. Long Sunny Coast straight. He's going to look long straight when you're sort of burning the candle at both ends, so to speak. So I'm happy to sort of take him on there. But this race looks really solid on paper. And I think you can find a few coming in the Magic Millions. I know GTT's gone 11 into 5 already. I know they'll have O'Day Hoyser will have that prime for the millions. Golan's never far off with Shamaton as well, but going the value in the last mug. So, hey, best of luck out there. See you next week.